Hey friends, this is Marilyn from tarotclarity.com, and today I'm doing a video response to something that Mascha put out the other day. It's she's doing a top tarot trumps where she's asking us to do, or challenging us to find 5 trump cards for, five of our favorite trump cards for each card in the higher order of cards. So presuming that we start with the Fool on through the World card. And, Mascha's one of the few people who I keep up with. I keep up with Mascha, I keep up with Cesar from 78 Puertas when I'm able to understand the Spanish. I come from a Spanish background, but my Spanish, it's been many years since I spoke the Spanish, so I can't always keep up with the language. And I try to keep up with a few people, Justin, because he's from Philadelphia, and so am I. So there's a few people that I keep my eye on to see what they're doing. But for the most part, I stay in my own lane. I just don't do too much perusing on YouTube. I watch YouTube for things like true crime, to get facts or to get ideas for true crime readings, for example. But I don't tend to watch other YouTube tarot people. I don't. I don't know why I don't. I just don't. But just like those 2 people that I mentioned, I follow. I keep my eye on Mascha, and I like to see what she's up to because she frequently has guests that I like to see. And same with Justin. If I knew how to do a live thing, I'd be doing them probably all the time. I just don't know how to do a live show. I can't figure it out. So I need somebody to come here and help me out, but I just don't have anyone in my life like that. So that's why I like watching them, because they tend to have live shows with people that I really would like to have on my own show. And anyway, so I'm starting with the Fool. I know that Mascha released hers, I think the other day, yesterday, so it's okay to do it now. Now, I'm going to flip the camera, and I'll show you the backs of the cards that I've chosen for my top 5 Fool cards, but they're not necessarily in the order of preference. Alrighty, so this card is from the Anonymous Tarot of Paris, and I really like this card because it's got, and this one was published by I think the International Museum of Tarot in Italy. I think that's the name of the publisher. Museum International dei Tarocchi. I like this one because it's a bit clearer than the other more facsimile deck I have of it. I like it because there's like historical reference in this card of the Fool carrying the staff that has a mirror image of his face. And I know there was a play about the Fool and the Innkeeper, and I kind of just like that reference. Now, this book that comes with it is in Italian. So I imagine if I was ambitious, I could do a Google Translate with it to see the reference that is made regarding this Fool card. But the reference that I am thinking of is from this book, and it goes into describing the play, an Italian play, about a fool and an innkeeper. So if you want to learn about that kind of history, you can get it in this book. Okay, the next one, we just saw this deck yesterday, and this is the Metelli Fool card. Now, I know the other day when I did a video showcasing the deck, I mistook the Fool for the Magician and vice versa. And I think that was because it was the order in which it was presented to me when I got the deck, but I wasn't paying attention. And then once I realized I made a mistake, I wanted to correct it, and I'm correcting it again here. But the reason I think I kind of like this Fool card as a Fool card is because it really reminds me of my childhood when we used to bundle up on New Year's Day and go into Philadelphia and hang out at 15th and Reed and Broad and Reed, where my grandfather lived. And we'd watch the Mummers Parade, and there were these vendors who used to hawk up and down the streets with these tacky balloons and little wind toys, you know, like pinwheel kind of toys and stuff, the kind of cheap toys that by the time you get home, they're broken in the car already. But it kind of reminded me of that, you know, so it's like a kind of guy who comes through town for special events and has fun things that might attract a child's attention. And he has the feather in his cap to further suggest that he's, you know, light in the head maybe, or responds to children. And he has other features that are sort of similar to the Fool in that he's kind of disheveled. He's missing a sock. Here we have a card from the Charles VI or Estensi deck. And this one is done by Marco Benedetti. I featured it not too long ago. I love this card for the Fool because it's just enough. It has enough ingredients across the board where it's treacherous, you know, kind of treacherous in the sense that he's inappropriately dressed and, you know, for being in the presence of children. And he's got the dunce cap, you know, what I think of as a dunce cap, and he's got the bell. So he's got a lot of ingredients. Plus he's got children throwing stones at him. So the children are not really bothered by his inappropriateness, but the parents might have been. But the children themselves are not. So it's got a few ingredients, you know, it's got bells, he's shoddily dressed, he's got the dunce cap, he's got kids. There's a few things in there that attract me to it. Now, this one, I probably could have gotten one that I liked better than this, but, you know, I have so many decks, it's not practical or reasonable for me to go through every single one of my decks to see which one of my Fools I like the best. But I thought of this deck, and I haven't taken it out and looked at it for a while. This one is the Vachetta or Vachetta, and this happens to be put out by Il Menichello. And I like it. It's colorful. It's got a leopard instead of a dog. And again, he's got the ingredients where, you know, enough of the ingredients that we understand who he is. And the last card is the Noble. This one's put out by Artisan, and I chose the Noble as, you know, the TDM decks that I have because it's the one Fool card that's different from the others, you know, in that the animal is savagely attacking the private nether, you know, the private area of the Fool. So it's a TDM that dared to be a little different. So I think these are my 5 top Fool cards for top tarot trumps for the challenge that Mascha put out. So tag it TTT or top tarot trumps. I think it's top tarot trumps is what the tag is. And try it and see what you come up with. I think Mascha said she's doing these every 2 weeks, and so I'll wait until I see her do the magician, and then I'll release my favorite magicians. Until next time, friends, peace and stay well.